Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another exciting time with Life Imagined. I'm really excited. It's been a bit since I've gone live on Facebook and our YouTube channel, and that's because we have a Patreon page. And just go check it out if you get a chance. You can just head on over to the lifeimagined.live link above, and you'll find that we do have a link for our Patreon page for a small fee of subscription. We're going to be bringing a lot more in-depth videos. Now, of course, we've just started the page, so we've got a few videos up. But a lot of the in-depth videos are going to be on there, not on Facebook or on YouTube. Now, the reason why I'm not doing it on YouTube, and I feel a little bit bad about this, is we have enough subscribers to monetize, to create our YouTube into a subscription. And that's what I initially wanted to do. The problem is they keep changing the rules with how many hours of viewing has to be in order for you to now qualify. So YouTube just lost my business, and we're just simply storing videos on their platform. And we'll come on every now and again and do a video, but ultimately we're going to be on our Patreon page, our Life Imagined Patreon, and you can again find the link at lifeimagined.live, and just go to our Beacon AI website platform and find the information. It's been a busy month for us. I don't know about you guys. We've been busy. We've been just working nonstop, in just regular manual labor, and it's been a blessing. And so I haven't had the opportunity to come on and be with everyone as often as I'd like. Again, the more subscribers we get on our Patreon page, the less manual labor hours I have to work, and can actually spend more time. And because we're wanting to do a platform with a group, probably using Facebook group. We might even use the Patreon page group. We can set that up there as well. But we want to create a group where there is posts, there's interaction, there's chats, as well as Zoom calls where we can get together with those that have come out of religious trauma, they've deconstructed, and they just don't feel they have a voice. They feel like they've been lied to, they feel like they've been ripped off. And just to give them a place to vent, to feel, to find new language, to find purpose. And hey, John, good to see you, brother. One of my subscribers. I appreciate you, brother. And Deborah, good to see you. And many of those that are just joining us. And so, come on over to the Patreon page. It's $14.99 a month. That gives you access to all the videos that I do, of which I will be doing 1 to 2 videos a week, which is going to build up fast. And I've shared some of the videos that I've done for our subscribers on our public platforms that'll kind of give you a little bit of a taste of what we're talking about there. And more is to come. Okay. In fact, I just posted in there a Zoom that Steve and don't ask me to. He has a long last name, Carnivore. I want to say Carnivore Conyar or something. Anyway, this brother Steve and Carrie Husband and myself, and we shared about psilocybin, plant medicine, and the benefits, and kind of the spiritual side, and some encounters, and some of I don't even like the term miracles anymore, but wholeness that's been manifesting through plant medicine. So if you're a subscriber, you can go on and check that out. But yeah, there's going to be a few videos I'm going to do a month to everybody, and the rest are going to be for the subscribers. So please feel free to go and check it out. Hopefully you like my new background. I thought it was pretty cool. I found it on Amazon. Of course, it's not green screen, it's an actual background. I'm actually sitting in my RV bathroom area right now, because it's actually a large room with a separate bathroom, and the shower is actually behind this. But this is my only place to go for now. And so I'm just thankful to have a place to hang out with everybody. But I wanted to come on here and just give you an encouraging word today, and just share, depending on who shows up. and who responds. We might end up flowing a little bit with some oracles and some readings and see what transpires as well. But I want to talk about how your life is for entertainment purposes. And, um, you know, we get so serious in our life, and we're trying to obtain, and we're seeing where other people are at, and we want what they've got and where they're at. And so we're competing and we're comparing, and we're getting real serious. And then when things don't go our way, we immediately feel like we're just punched in the gut. We're just completely deflated of all hope, and we're just discouraged. We just want to throw in the towel. We become, cynical, sarcastic, and so on and so forth. And I want to talk about what's going on. First and foremost, it's because we have a wrong perception of life, where we think that's the life we're living, but that is the illusion we have settled for as our life. See, divinity decided to have an experience of visibility known as the matrix, in which you're experiencing as your life. But this life is not and I'm not saying we should make our life one big joke, but we definitely need to get the cosmic joke in order to not take life so seriously and become so competitive, or compare with one another and become jealous and envious, and feeling like everybody else is getting what they want but me. I've been in that place, and one of the things I've realized is everybody is me. And so all these other versions of me that I'm jealous of, why am I jealous? Because I think I'm an individual. I think I'm somehow separated. And therefore I have to now compete and compare and exhaust myself to somehow keep up with the Joneses and get what everybody else is getting, because they're happy and therefore I'll be happy. Well, that's living life as an illusion. That's living the wrong kind of life. That's not what you came here to do. You didn't even come here to gain a truth. Good to see you, Garrett. I love you and miss you too, bro. Um, you didn't come here to get a bunch of truth. And sure we came here to know who we are, but not that's just from a human perspective. See, divinity came here to experience all things for the sake of experiencing it in its own completeness and absence of lack, and in its own absence of desire of attaining anything, simply wanted to embrace and experience all things. Good to see you, Erica. And so when you think about the fact that you, as divinity, came to experience all things for the sake of experiencing them, you don't need a big old prophetic word of how important you are so that you can pull yourself up from your bootstraps and somehow have faith to carry on because I needed a word that I have a purpose in this life. There is no purpose in this life except to experience all things for the sake of experiencing them. End of story. Okay. And because of that, it is for entertainment purposes that you're experiencing all things. Nothing can be added to you in any of your experience. It is simply being filtered through the finite cognitive thinking and ego part of the mind that wants to figure it out and feel like it knows something and has attained something. And, that's all ego. That's all, as Christians would call it, the carnal mind. Okay. The carnal mind is to strive to try to obtain what has been freely given. And what has been freely given is divinity gave itself a visible manifestation, gave itself a body, gave itself a matrix, and that has been freely given for your entertainment. So fear is for entertainment purposes, okay? All of our emotional trauma is for entertainment purposes. Now, once you begin to understand this, you will stop wondering when you're going to get free. You'll stop trying to get free, since wholeness pretended to be brokenness just to see what it would feel like. Because wholeness is indestructibility as divinity that took a dive into duality just to feel the experience, just to experience everything it's not. Okay? And so I really think that, as we begin to really let go of the need to press in, the need to know things, and to let go and to free fall into letting all things happen and just simply embracing all things as, wow, isn't this amazing that I got to experience this? And keep in mind the void. And I'm going to bring up the void here for a minute, because divinity wanted to experience all things, because in the absence of visibility is simply the void, and the absence of divinity knowing its own existence in invisibility. Okay. For to know yourself, you must become self-aware. You must know that you exist. And the reason you know you exist is because you can see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, hear it, so on and so forth. Divinity's knowing of all things is outside of visibility, and therefore a dream state of simply drifting off into a realm of love in which it cannot embrace any of that which it is experiencing or knowing, shall I say, knowing without experiencing. And then we got Deborah over here saying, "You're smoking." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm smoking the good stuff here." And, and so we've got to get beyond this 3D dimension as our ultimate reality, in which, because when it is our ultimate reality and we take it too seriously, that's where we become offended. That's where the ego becomes offended, shall I say. Who you are can actually never become offended. There's no such thing as offense as divinity, as spirit, okay? You are simply love, and love is unoffendable, and love is up for the challenge, because love cannot be quenched. Love is stronger than death. So if everything you're walking through, you feel like, man, I just wish I had more love in my life. I just wish I had more faith or more hope or more peace or more money or these types of things, realize you're looking for something outside of yourself that doesn't actually exist. For everything outside of you that is contending with you is the mindset in you that's projecting as a world that's resisting you. Okay? You are simply living from within a matrix dream world known as a simulation that you can actually begin to control when you let go of the need to control it for all the wrong reasons. See, if we let go of our need to obtain anything in this life and we simply go, wow, wow, that was for entertainment purposes. Wow, that was cool that I just experienced this total loss of all things. Wow, isn't that amazing? Now, you're not trying to convince you. You've gotten the revelation at this point. Okay? When you don't and you pretend, believe me, your mind will eventually do what? It'll break. You'll eventually freak out. You'll be looking for some result from this posture. See? So the moment you're thinking, well, yeah, I need to try this so I can get that, is the moment it's gonna backfire. It has to backfire. It's got to backfire on you, because as long as you're doing something to get something rather than doing something simply just to experience it for the sake of experiencing it. And there's no hidden motive, no hidden agenda, no need to deliver yourself, adjust yourself, move yourself, free yourself. That's the place where you experience the ultimate freedom. This is the worry-free place. This is the place of grace. This is the place in which you stand under rather than need to understand. Okay? Like what Garrett just said, experimenting with the human experience. This is why you're here. All right? So imagine this, and I've said this before, divinity being all-knowing, because it knows all things outside of an experience, can only conclude on all that it knows from divinity's perspective as itself, and cannot experience anything except as God. Therefore, divinity put on a dream state, or created a simulation, however you want to put it, in which it's living its life as everything that it isn't. It's amazing that divinity always likes to be everything but divinity in this dimension. All right. And so, divinity likes to be the deceiver and the truth teller. It likes to be the jokester, and it likes to be, the romancer. All of these sides of this novel that you're living out, this screenplay, all the characters that you are playing, all the different characters, is simply the interacting of all things for the sake of experiencing it. What if you don't need a purpose to be here bring a revival, or be the woman or man of the hour, the great apostle, of faith, or the oracle of the hour, or the great, you know, you know, Star Seed General of the Galactic Federation. Now, nothing wrong with having all of these titles because, well, they're in the movie, they're for entertainment purposes. But once you try to put them on and make them your full identity, as in now I'm going to ascend and I'm going to somehow grab hold of everything that I already am as all things, which makes no sense whatsoever, then I've lost the whole point. I will sink back into the repercussions of egoic reflections. Okay. Ah, I love that. I love what Tony Miles just said. Let me put that up there. He goes, divinity is getting its money's worth with me for sure. And you know what? That is so true. We need to come into the place in which we understand that there's no need to understand. There's nothing you need to do to obtain anything. Now, I'm not talking about sitting on a couch and just, I'm just going to sit here. I don't need to obtain, man. You're eventually going to have to get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, clean your house, go get a job. Okay. So, but all of those things are still for entertainment purposes. Yes, they sustain different aspects of your biology and different levels of the matrix within even the labor that you do for the system that we believe we're imprisoned in. Even that is for entertainment purposes. So certain scenarios have been set up for us to experience so that we can deepen that experience and branch off into other areas. Okay. So I just want to encourage you, put yourself in a place in which you are no longer offendable, because offense is part of an illusion or part of the game. I mean, you can pretend to be offended and go, you know what, maybe today, well, that person over there that doesn't like me, oh, that was part of the punchline. That's the other version of me that's offended. You ever wonder, I've thought about this, since everybody is you and there's only one, there really is only one. And that one is everyone manifesting towards itself, or the universe becoming aware of itself, or source looking in on itself, or God looking in, whatever name or title you want to give it. Okay. But you ever wonder why you created Democrats and Republicans as an egregore? There's a lot of, and I can never remember the term for this, but just like in a video game, you have the real players, the people that are playing with the video game online, and then you have the video game characters that aren't actual real players. Okay. They're fake players, right? And we create some of these injustices, these government systems, these Republican Democrat things. We actually create these soulless entities, these egregores, from all of the times we have sown into what we hate about ourselves that is now manifesting as the system we want to escape from. And so we've actually kind of created this. Since there is only one mind experiencing itself, then you are either my subconscious or I am your subconscious, or maybe we're switching back and forth, but we're all one. And that's the living creatures full of eyes. Okay. It's the ability to be divinity, looking through every eye's perspective of itself, to view every angle of every possibility of every experience of what divinity is not. So we created this whole situation. Now, some would say, well, we need to uncreate it. And I want to say that for entertainment purposes, we will come up with the hero's path. The hero's path is a big part of the movie, by the way. The hero's path is there so that we can go, yes, we're here to save the day, so we can experience what it's like to save the day, okay? Of course, the day didn't need to be saved, because everything is within that collective consciousness of one, all right? But it sure is fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun to be the hero to save the day? Isn't it fun sometimes to even play the villain? And I'm not saying I'm not encouraging anybody to go out there and do anything negative to anybody else. obviously, but we have situations arise all the time in which other versions of us just violate us. And we're going, what's going on here? Well, a good question is, what part of me is still resisting the whole idea that everything is for entertainment purposes? And so this part of me, Joe over here, that part of me named Joe or Fred or Linda that doesn't like me, is, oh, that's me. That's a part of me that's still taking the game too seriously, that got stuck in the matrix, thinks it's a real life, still trying to compete, compare, and somehow obtain. All right. And now they're throwing a fit. That version of me is throwing a fit. So what are we going to do? We're going to realize that all these people groups, some of them are other versions of me, and some of them are egregores, mindsets I've created as, again, part of the video game, those players in the game that aren't really playing. They're just part of the data that is moving in between players. Okay. And so we've got to be able to see the difference here and the distinction here. You're in a simulation. All right. Your life has been imagined. All right. Thus the reason why I changed the name of our organization to Life Imagined. Okay. Because you have imagined your life. You are a thought manifesting as a people group or as a person, as an individual or group of people. Okay. Think about this the next time you go to Disney World or a place that's just beautiful and you go, wow, instead of saying, wow, God, you really created some beautiful stuff. Why are you talking to yourself as though you're way over here? No, go, wow, look how amazing I am as divinity. Look at how creative I am. I imagined all of this and am experiencing it. Isn't that awesome to think about that? Too many times we get caught up in religion, and even religion, by the way, is for entertainment purposes. Okay. And so sometimes we're entertained with religion because the parts of us that we think are broken need to be entertained with some sort of performance-based act so that it can feel like it's getting away with something or stepping into something or having control in something. Of course, that eventually falls flat, and then another part of us is entertained in our regret. The regret part of us is entertained. And so every part of us is being entertained. All those parts that we believed is true and not true. Okay. And so we're entertaining ourselves at all levels. And all of it is beautiful. Even the duality is beautiful. So even as it says in the Bible, in Ecclesiastes, everything is made beautiful in its time. It's once we've come into alignment with the fact that nothing is out of order, that even though I might be doing inner healing, maybe because I still do shift. I still help people process their pain, but are we really processing pain? No, it's for entertainment purposes. But as we're entertained in what we think is going on, we get to experience a freedom, even though we're wholeness experiencing freedom, because we're wholeness pretending to be brokenness so that we can experience freedom, and we can experience it in a way that divinity never could. So divinity in invisibility, in its all-knowingness of itself outside of time, space, and matter, is limited in its experience. That's why the finite experience came in. And the finite says, well, I just want to understand. I just want to know the truth. Well, that's the problem. The ego comes in, the broken parts of us that thinks it's here to get a truth, to understand, to know something. Once we just kind of flip that around and realize, you know what, ego, just relax. You're for entertainment purposes. No, you're not here to know anything. You're just here to experience all things for the sake of experiencing them. That's the key. I like what you just said there, Erica. You said, beyond awesome. I so enjoy daydreaming in periods of boredom that grow creativity. That is so true. So true. We would be bored if we weren't challenged. Do you know that if we weren't doing menial tasks, we would also, parts of our brain would also stop operating in in a more complete way? We would start to lose our momentum. We start to lose that. Oh, okay, Serena, you just reminded me. What about the void? Okay, so the void is everything outside of the matrix. Okay, so here's the thing. People want to escape the matrix, and If you go to my Patreon channel, I've actually done videos. You have to subscribe. And I'm going to be going into detail there, more into the matrix within the matrix. But I'll give you a little sneak peek. All right. So you have the matrix, which is divinity's opportunity to entertain itself, for the sake of entertaining itself. And that's the purpose. Okay. And that is the visible manifestation of God in its diversity as mankind, as angels, as aliens, as creation, whatever level and dimension you want to bring in. It's the multiversal self manifesting. Okay. At some levels, it's simply light codes and visibility as light, and at the lower densities it's visibility as biology, with light codes moving and manifesting as biology and these types of things. Okay. And so, oh, I got that still back on there. Let's click off of that. All right. Oh, there you go. What about the void? Now, if you were to be delivered from the matrix, from visibility, you would simply enter divinity's original state, known as the void. It would be the divine masculine without the feminine. It would be the all-consuming fire, or what some would call hell. God's own hell, divinity's own hell. Can I say that divinity wanted visibility, and that divinity doesn't like invisibility in the sense of the absence of embracing itself? I don't think anybody in their right mind would like to float around in a void, in a dream state of reaching for itself, in which it cannot, because there is no tangible embrace. So imagine energy chasing itself to embrace itself, but canceling itself as an all-consuming fire, in which it just simply recycles itself. And I think that would be part of divinity in the void of the reincarnation trap at one level, in which we're experiencing it at another within the matrix. Okay. I don't believe divinity longs for darkness in the void. I think divinity outside of the divine feminine is the absence of creation. It's the absence of creativity, expression, and interaction. And so you have the divine masculine and you have the divine feminine. You have, if we were to use this symbolically in scripture, we would look at how God had a dream of a human experience, and Adam was put to sleep, and that was really divinity going to sleep as mankind. And out of that was coming what? It says God made man, but he formed Eve, okay, woman. Okay, and so Eve is that which is beforehand. Okay, so it's that which is within the heart, that which is hidden but is now manifest as visibility. So you can see that divinity dreamed it was mankind, and out of that dream came form. It came creativity, came the divine feminine that allows the sustaining of the matrix, or the framework of the matrix. If you could look at it this way, allness without a harness is a consuming fire that chases itself within a void. Allness with a harness, and that harness being kind of like a power grid, like you have a power grid in your city, right? In which it's all the wires that are wired together with positive and negatives, what we would call a positive and a negative, a duality, but really a polarity that allows the sustaining of lights and electricity in your house, right? The power grid, right? Well, the power grid is duality at one level, or the structure of the matrix that allows divinity to live out a life in a dream state of its own mind, looking in on itself. Okay. So you're not waking up from that. You're waking up within that you are in a simulation, not to get free from the simulation, but to play in the simulation and to recreate the simulation. All right. But if you're asleep in the simulation and you're struggling in your life in the matrix as your reality, now you have created egregores and mindsets that have kept you imprisoned within yourself. And that is the matrix within the matrix. So we're peeling that first layer off. the egregores, the taking this life so seriously, the thinking we have to have a prophetic word and some big destiny in order to be inspired and to go forward in our life, or to have purpose. And our purpose is to simply experience all things for the sake of experiencing them. And when you're free from that false matrix that we have created around ourselves, as divinity dove so deep into duality that it forgot it was even divinity and thought it was only humanity, and a debased humanity at that, instead of a beautiful, glorified mankind that is super powerful and, co-creator with source and as source. Okay. And so the void, and I hear what you're saying there, Erica, the void is where you cease to exist, even though you can't cease to exist. It's the sense, and if you've ever done psychedelics, a large dose, especially with magic mushrooms, you will also find that you enter the void. And those that have had near-death experiences have had the same experience, where it was the absence of all things. And then they came through into light, or what happens, and they end up coming back into contact with some beings that have some level of form, even if they're made of light. There is some level of form there and framework there. So framework is divinity's desire, in a sense, to escape that part of its own mind. All right. And to now go in and experience itself in a more fuller way. I mean, think about the void. If you are divinity in invisibility, you are in the void of not knowing your own existence. And in that, no matter your potential of knowing all things, the inability to express them, embrace them, or manifest them would be pointless and purposeless. And so you will never, when you transition out of any life you've lived, or any level of the matrix or multidimensional state, you will never, ever, ever be in the void again. Okay. You'll never be in the void. All right. Because what's been happening is divinity has been building its own worlds within its own mind, known as visibility, known as a multiversal state. And it just continually is being expanded and upgraded. Okay. And so you will simply be shifting from one dimension to the next, or from one timeline to the next. I was watching this video that was sent to me recently. It was crazy, crazy video. It was on YouTube. I'll see if I can find the link and share it on all my platforms. But it was about this guy who fell and knocked himself unconscious on the concrete. And anyway, he gets up, he comes to, he gets up, and he goes into this. I don't quote me on this. I might be completely wrong, but he goes into some place, maybe a bar or a store. he runs into this woman. As soon as he sees her, he falls in love with her, asks her out. They go out, they date, they end up getting married. He has a kid, and I mean, he's living 10 years. Happily married with this child and all of this amazing stuff. And all of a sudden, he blacks out, with his, I don't know if he was with his wife, but he blacks out, hits the ground. And that's when he actually wakes up off of the cement. And that whole 10 years of having a wife and having a kid she never existed in that dimension. So he had only been actually out for a few minutes on the ground, but he had lived out a decade of a completely different life with a family, with a son. And he struggled to come to grips with it. It was almost like a grieving, like they had died. I mean, that was what he went through, the loss of his family, because when he hit his head and went unconscious, he actually tapped into another version of himself, another timeline in which he was living out an alternate reality. And this is a guy's actual testimony. And I want to say that, even though we can't prove, people say, well, how do you know it's not just brain damage? Well, I think brain damage wouldn't be so intricate. We have a lot of proof when it comes to near-death experiences, similar situations like this. I have had experiences where I would be taken in a moment. I didn't hit my head or nothing. I'm just gone and I'm living out this alternate life. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't know which life I was living. And I know that some would say, well, brother, have you been checked for schizophrenia? You know, and it's not schizophrenia. I don't even think schizophrenia is necessarily a mental handicap as much as it is the fact that people have tapped into their multiversal self, but they're viewing it through the ego and through trauma-based thinking or wrong perception of themselves, and therefore it becomes tormenting. You know, emotional pain is present, and that becomes the filter in which you're trying to experience these multiversal timelines or lives that you're living. Well, yeah, then it would definitely be a schizophrenic experience if you're looking at it through broken lenses or a twisted version of your current self. But once you come into the realization, once you do the work of inner healing, which isn't healing you, it's for entertainment purposes, for expression, and for just to experience it. But once you've experienced it enough, you experience wholeness, which is just simply wholeness, saying, all right, I watched that movie, let's move on to the next one. Okay. So if you can receive your life at that level, you will stop performing, you will stop believing you lack stuff, you will stop needing things, you will come into a place of fulfillment. And in that fulfillment, guess what's going to happen? You're going to begin to now no longer be distracted by all the things you thought you needed to do or had to do or wanted to do or needed to ascend in. And you'll end up beginning to manifest those things. They'll just simply start manifesting. We've all experienced this at other levels. We've experienced it. How many times do you cry out to God and cry out and pray and fast and nothing happened? You finally throw in the towel, give up, and here it comes. And then you feel bad that you gave up and didn't stay faithful to prayer. And now you're struggling to receive it because why? Because ego was the one that thought it had to work for it in the first place. It was always there, but you not getting it for that time was simply exhausting the resources of ego and of a wrong perspective, so that you would throw in the towel. And so that which is divinely in you could now simply reflect outwardly of what you already had within you, that fullness, that completeness. Okay, the ultimate side of who you are as divinity. Whew, man, I'm excited. So let me see if I can throw out here a few words before I close tonight. A few I don't know what to call them anymore. I used to call them prophetic words. Now I think some of my prophetic is pathetic or prosthetic. So we're going to do away with that word. We're getting new language, guys. We're letting go of religious language. All right. It doesn't have to be prophetic. It can be a reading. It can be I'm moving in the oracles, or I've got an encouraging word. Okay. And so, before I go into that, Taffy had a question here. So then where does intuition come into all this? Intuition is all of it. That's where your intuition comes in fullness. Okay, intuition has been trying to get past the ego's need to get somewhere, to obtain something, to heal something, to fix something, to have purpose in something. And so those little tiny bits of intuition is what has been kind of bubbling up around all of the bullshit in our head. Okay, once we get rid of that, and again, we return to the point of the cosmic joke, play the game. We're in the game, and the game has rules that are different at different levels. Let's enjoy. You know, if you're in fear and you decide, you know what, I'm not going to try to get rid of my fear. I'm going to be entertained by my fear. I'm going to look at what's behind that fear. Well, that fear isn't there to hurt me. That fear is there to show me what needs to come into alignment in my life and what's out of alignment in the way in which I'm perceiving myself. So I can be afraid of fear, or fear can become my friend, in which it now points me to a new experience that allows me to be here for entertainment purposes. And now guess what? Fear is good. And we'll see you again later on, fear, because fear is not a deficit. There is no deficit. That is a religious Christian mindset we all need to break free from. There is no, we need to get free and we need to, here's a good one. How about being an overcomer? Let's throw overcoming out the window altogether. if I need to overcome something, then I am a victim, currently a victim of something. So now I'm stuck in this duality that I need to perform. And if I can't muster up the strength to overcome, now I'm going to compile a whole bunch of other mindsets and beliefs about myself in condemnation because of the false expectation I put on myself. So when you hear being an overcomer, think of that as false expectation and a trap to keep you from being entertained. And that's the whole reason you're here. Okay, so throw out the need to be an overcomer. You're not an overcomer because there's nothing to overcome. You're simply, unless that's part of the script, and you're simply entertained to play the part of the overcomer, and you know you're not overcoming, you're just playing the part to simply experience it, then it's okay. Other than that, it's just the game. It's part of the game. And once you let go of all of those things, the need to live, even the need to ascend, okay? Our ascension is memory based right now. It's a remembrance. You're not actually ascending. You're remembering. The layers of illusion and disillusionment are coming off of you. The conclusion of yourself is coming off. So you think you're now ascending, but you're actually leveling up into the reality that you've always been in your cognitive thinking, in your mind. Okay, so we're simply trying to bring our mind into the fullness of that which has always been, not trying to actually get into the fullness, since we are that fullness. We are the fullness. So we're just bringing our mind into our own fullness here. That is what releases intuition. So intuition is, and this is great and beautiful because you already have intuition in certain places where you've played the game and you're like, okay, I saw that movie and I really didn't, really ain't into that movie, that part of the movie over here. Maybe that movie represents somebody who's done something to you or a betrayal. Yeah, that part of the movie wasn't my favorite. Okay, you just got intuition. You've decided you don't want that part. Now remember, when divinity showed up in visibility, it came to be everything it's not. But that's not the end of the movie. That's the middle of the movie. By the third part of the movie, 2/3 in, you're waking up that you're not these things that you concluded, but you're something greater. And now by the end of the movie, you're what? You are divinity going, ha ha, I played a joke on myself and I pretended I was all these characters just so I could experience it. And now I remember who I've always been. That's your intuition, okay? And it comes in the absence of our need to intuit anything. Just like understanding comes when you stop trying to understand. We're trying to force something from the wrong intention, out of fear, out of lack, out of being separated, out of condemnation. And so as we come out, as we come out of that rat race and we simply sit back and go, okay, all right. And you might react. You're going to react because, this isn't like an overnight thing. You're going to say, you're going to try to do this and then you're going to react. Okay. When you react, then what? Be entertained by your reaction. That's what you do. Turn that into an entertainment. And guess what? Eventually, you're just going to be entertained. And when you're entertained, you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do and enjoy it because you're no longer entangled in all the things you thought you were responsible or needed to do or had to do to get somewhere. All right. You're just shedding all of the junk, all of the excess, all of the filler. You're getting rid of the filler. Okay. Let me give you let me give some words here, and some encouraging words to everyone here. Christian Pedersen, brother, it's good to see you, man. Hey, I saw for you some increase coming. So I don't know what's going on right now with business or with starting a business or some ideas, or maybe you did start a business, but it just has been on the shelf or it hasn't. You're just stuck in a place. I see the cork coming out of the bottle. I see this big, the champagne, a big celebration, a financial celebration. Christian Pedersen is on the way. So it's already there. I'm releasing this for entertainment purposes. But yes, you're going to begin, and I'm just saying it so that your mind can now begin to manifest it if it hasn't already. So you have some agreement that me as another version of you is coming saying, hey, business is getting ready to boom if it isn't already. Okay, so the booming business, the expansion, and the branching. So branching out, expanding out, booming business coming your way. Some provision is coming, some things that you've been wanting to do, and it's going to come into alignment. All right, Teresa, Annette, I see you, and I see. I'm not going to put you on the spot here, but I don't know. Again, I might be seeing what's already happening or what's about to happen. And then again, there is no time for it to happen. So it's already happening and has happened, even if it hasn't manifested. But what I saw for you, Teresa, is I saw love. I saw romance. I saw a man. I saw you were not alone. And I saw your twin flame. I saw things coming together. And I saw that this will not be the challenges. This will not be challenges of the past. This will not be a fixer-upper. This will be a meeting you where you're at and a launching off like a rocket, almost like this man is the fuel to your rocket ship to get you where you want to go in your life. And so the desires of your heart when it comes to love is coming to pass and coming forth. All right, this is what I'm seeing for you. All right, hopefully that makes some sense. Shoo, let's see. Isabella, I don't know if I'm saying your last name right. Astrop, Isabella Astrop, Astrop. Anyway, Isabella, I just saw right there for you this voice. I saw the sound coming out of you. I saw you with, it was almost like, I know this might sound funny. I see kind of cartoonish stuff sometimes, but it was almost like, you know, those angels that go, ah. Anyway, it was this just sustained sound coming out of you and all of these musical notes flowing out of you. And so I feel like you're coming into your sound, your song, your creativity. And very well, I don't know, maybe you do sing, but the new song is coming. And there is a new song in you and a new sound in you. You know how you listen to a song that you love, it's a hit song and you just love it, but you kind of overplay it. And I just feel like you've come out of a season of things being overplayed and even feeling like you've been played. But you have not been overplayed. Your hand has not been overplayed, but there's a new song that's about to be played. And this new song is going to just bring you into a whole bunch of new experiences and a whole new adventure. So I see a whole new adventure when it comes to creativity, when it comes to the desire of your heart as well, and when it comes to the sound and the song. So that's what I see for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Jen, I do see for you, and I know we had kind of talked, I think, a little bit about some things about your business, what you do, but I saw another business opening up for you. So I don't know what's going on, but some ideas are coming for a side hustle that's actually going to produce more money in less hours. That's going to enable you to get certain benefits that you need for your other job. That's going to open up new avenues. It's going to open up new avenues. So benefits are coming. Benefits through this side hustle. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I'd be looking into possibly at some point you're going to be creating an LLC, and it's going to be different. You might already have the LLC with the business you have, but it's another one, and it's a complementary business for business that allows growth and exchange. And there's something to do with benefits. So I'm not really sure what that means. It could be medical, it could be dental, it could be chiropractic, it could be vision, it could be your 401k type of thing. But either way, there's something going on with a second business. So get ready for that and start looking into how small businesses can that people that own their own business can retire and still have funds coming in. Something is breaking open with that. Erica Jubilee, Wainwright. Shaka bam bam. I keep seeing Rainwright instead of Wainwright. In other words, it's about to rain right in your life. The storms that have hit your life always make you flinch when you think a storm is coming. And you know what I mean? Emotional, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, circumstantial. But Erica, I feel like for you right now that you're coming into this place of your face set like flint, almost like immovable, a place in which nothing scares you. There is no more fear. It's almost like all the fear helped to remove the fear. All the valley of the shadow of death has removed the fear of evil. And so I feel like in areas of your life where you are no longer evaluating yourself in a negative way, has kind of broken off of you fear that would come, that foreboding fear or that need to brace yourself when the unknown would come, or circumstances that were beyond control would come. I feel like that there's a welcoming in you to surf and to ride that wave, that storm, rather than run from it or take cover. I feel like you've been purged through the last season, and almost like where it appeared that you got the hell beat out of you in circumstances, situations, and relationships, it actually beat out of you the need to be afraid. And so it's kind of leveled you up, and you're coming into a place of just tremendous peace, boldness, confidence. So just be aware that you are immovable, and storms surround you. And when I say that, storms surround you, almost like the throne of God, lightnings, thunders, and voices, is that you are surrounded with the storms, and you are the storm. And so just be aware that you are the storm, and you are shifting territories right now. That's what I saw for you. Serena, need to talk again, sister. You are the womb of creation. And let me just say, I appreciate who you are. And I want to say to you, that Serena, where did you go? I lost you on there. Okay. I want to just say to you, Serena, and hopefully you're still on here, that I saw some things shifting in your home life. Some things more things coming in alignment. Some time, certain things coming to an end that's going to give you some time to work on things you've been wanting to work on. So almost like the exchange of time, some things moving off the table and things moving on the table. So things being rearranged to allow for more time, and more time for yourself, more time to have fun, and more time to work on things that are fun. Okay. So I see that coming for you. I also see some encounters coming for you, some epiphanies, some revelatory experiences, for entertainment purposes. And it's going to be amazing what breaks out of you as this comes, because everything that comes in your life is there playing a sound on the strings of your harp, of your harp. And it's fine tuning, and it's unlocking, and it's aligning. And so this season is a season of unlocking, almost like if you've ever seen those, remember those Rubik's cubes that are all different colors, and when they're all mixed up, you got to turn them this direction and this direction. It's almost like everything right now in your life is turning everything and bringing it into alignment to put all the right colors on the right sides of your life. So get ready for that if it's not already happening. Don't take it as a whirlwind. Don't take it as chaos. It's actually order. So what you think is chaos in your life right now is actually order. So just allow your own hands as divinity to grab hold of that avatar human experience, shift it, twist it, turn it, and settle it, because you're coming into a place of fun, place of fun. All right. All right. Well, that's about all I got for you guys. I appreciate you. And it's good. Hey, Barbara. Yes, I am still flowing in whatever you want to call it. Encouraging words, the oracles, readings, Pretty much encouraging myself in the version of everyone else, but it's good to see you, Barbara. We need to catch up, by the way. I miss you. I love you. And I love all of you guys. And again, I want to encourage you. Go to our website. It's again, it's a work in progress. I'm doing my best. I'm still learning it. Lifeimagine.live. It's on the Beacon AI platform, and you're going to find that we do have our Patreon page open to subscribe for $14.99 a month. And that is going to allow us, the more subscribers we have, and we're just getting started, but we're going to be doing videos once to twice a week. We've got videos in there that are not going to be anywhere else. They're going to be deeper, okay? And from that, we're going to have another tier that's going to be about $25 a month. That's going to enable us to have a lot of Zoom calls together, interactions, and so on and so forth. What this does is it frees us up to spend as much time as possible helping everyone we can online and being an encouragement, helping people find their voice, helping people come out of the place of religious trauma. And the more subscribers we get, again, it's only $14.99 a month. The more subscribers we get, the less I have to work at the RV resort, which means I can be on here with you guys more. And don't forget, we also still offer shift services or shift sessions where we help people deal with emotional trauma and so on and so forth. Last but not least, we are going to be offering our shift training course for Christmas at a major discount. It's going to be $75. It's normally $175, so $100 off, and it's going to be up for about a week. So I'm going to be posting about that. And if you haven't gotten it, it's a downloadable 12-hour training, video training, as well as an 86-page workbook on the mind, on emotion, and how to deal with triggers, mindsets, how to deal with guardian lies known as anger, and how to break through all of that. And it'll launch you into your own life coaching career, as well as help yourself personally. Okay. And so appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to subscribe on our Patreon page. Love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.